After 6 months in space, a crew finally arrives and lands on Mars. It's a new world. But what will life be like on the red planet? And how will people survive? That's exactly what we find out today.
HMP base, skies are clear. Temperature is minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll start heading back. It might be a little dust storm coming in.
It's really a godforsaken place. It's super cold. The average temperature is minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Atmospheric pressure is low to the point where if you didn't have a spacesuit at all times, your blood would boil. You would die instantaneously. Air is not breathable. It's made of carbon dioxide. You need oxygen. The dust is toxic. You'd be coughing yourself to death. And then you're exposed to space radiation at the surface of Mars. It doesn't have a magnetic field to protect you. So the place is really not a cool place.
That's exactly the reason why scientists are practicing in a place known as Mars on Earth.
Right now we're getting ready to take off and head to the Devon Island station. It's a Mars-like environment. Actually, it's one of the places on Earth that is the most similar to the landscape of Mars.
Devon Island in the Canadian Arctic is so remote, it's almost easier to get to space. I made 4 stops in Canada before taking a small 2-engine plane with a crew of 4 to this island only 15 degrees away from the North Pole.
Devon Island is about the size of West Virginia, and it's the largest uninhabited island on Earth. For the most part, when we are here in the summer, we are the population of Devon Island.
For almost 2 decades, it has been home to the Houghton Mars Project.
And then from then on, you'll know that we're basically behind the structure a little bit to the west.
NASA scientist Pascal Lee is the project director. Here, scientists test rovers, spacesuits, and conduct research in a dry, cold, and lifeless Martian-like polar desert.
You have to be fairly tough to withstand a few days or a few weeks here.
Once you're here, you're on your own, just like you would be on Mars. You run out of supplies? Too bad. There's no running down to Walmart or the hardware store.
And on Mars, running an errand means wearing one of these.
A spacesuit has all these layers to protect you from different things, but it also has a life support system inside, computers. You're basically, again, in a wearable spacecraft.
And it actually felt like I was carrying a spacecraft. Scientists are working on ways to lighten the current spacesuit by more than half. We almost spent a week here doing research. There was no running water, no heat. The sun never set, and we pretty much spent all day together. It's good practice, because in the future, astronauts may have to spend roughly 18 months alone on Mars, in a place like this, a Mars habitat at the Johnson Space Center in Texas. One of the major concerns with sending a manned mission to Mars is simply how heavy everything is that needs to go there. And one of those things is oxygen. But what if there's something that could create oxygen on the red planet? Here at the Jet Propulsion Labs in Pasadena, California, scientists are working on something that can be a breath of fresh air for the Mars crew. It's called MOXIE. How does MOXIE work?
So it takes an atmospheric gas from Mars and it converts it into oxygen. It runs it through a process which allows us to extract the oxygen from the gas on Mars. It's a game changer.
Here we have
Donald here is the main man when it comes to getting this ready for a future mission. Not just for breathing, but more importantly, using oxygen to create fuel. In terms of the MOXIE, how new of a technology is it?
Well, it's unprecedented. We saved this huge effort to carry all that stuff to Mars, and we make the mission so much more practical and affordable.
Researchers are also studying how the first humans on Mars will eat and drink. Early this year, for the first time, astronauts at the International Space Station ate lettuce grown in space without soil. The station also recycles all its water, so not a drop is wasted. They're also looking at ways to extract it from the Martian soil. NASA is not only studying effects of a Mars trip on the body, but also the mind.
Think of your 4 or 5 closest friends and think about living and working with them in a house about the size of a school bus for a period of 2.5 years. So there's a lot of stress that comes with such a mission.
Experts hope to weed out just who is tough enough to handle the pressure of life on the red planet and a 6-month voyage through deep space back to Earth.
Reconnect with your big Mars ship, You make sure everything's working, and then you press that big red button, and it says Earth on it.
Ambitious plans that will only work if the money keeps coming. Experts say a human mission to Mars would be one of the most expensive endeavors of the 21st century, costing hundreds of billions of dollars. And NASA's funding is less than a tenth of what it was during the race to the moon.
Humans are set to go to Mars in the late 2030s, early 2040s. I anticipate that they will come here to train at least a decade to a decade and a half before that happens. So beginning in just a few years from now. Everything that we're doing here we feel is sort of laying the groundwork and the foundation for what's going to be an incredible journey for humanity.
An incredible journey in space exploration as we search to better understand our universe. Keith Kosinski, Channel 1 News.
Man, I loved this whole series. And if you guys want more, just head on over to channel1.com where you can check out Keith busting a dance move as he moonwalks his way to Mars in a spacesuit. All right, guys, that's it for us, but we can't wait to see you right back here tomorrow.